What are the best sports cars that you can buy in the market right now? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. In this video, we're going to go through some of the absolute best sports cars that you can buy brand new in the market right now. So whether you're shopping on a budget or not and wondering what are some of the best performance cars and sports cars that you can buy on the market right now, make sure to stick around until the end of this video. And if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post 2 videos a week, always straight to the point, valuable car buying advice designed to help you, the consumer. So before we get into some of the more affordable sports cars further down the list, I want to start things off with one of the most iconic cars that you can buy on the market right now, which is the one that I'm test driving here, the Porsche 911. I don't think any sports car list would be complete without including the Porsche 911. It is an absolute icon and one of the longest running sports cars available on the market. You can get the 911 in a huge variety of different options depending on your budget and what you're looking for, from the entry-level Carrera to the enthusiast-oriented GT3 to the absolute bonkers Turbo S. But if you want a 911 that blends the both worlds, something that gives you the best of both extremes, then you're probably going to want to take a look at the one that I'm test driving here, which is the Carrera GTS. The GTS gives you the maximum amount of performance available in a 911 without having to go to the extreme level of the GT cars or the Turbo S. And it is a seriously quick car, delivering close to 480 horsepower from a twin-turbo 3-liter flat-six engine with a 0 to 60 time of around 4 seconds. And what's great about this car is that you can still get it with a choice between either a PDK paddle shift transmission or a 7-speed manual gearbox, which is a choice that you don't get with a lot of high-end sports cars. And of course, it delivers the amazing handling, the balance and precision that you would expect from a 911, but it doesn't sacrifice anything when it comes to luxury, comfort, and everyday usability either. If you want maximum performance and fun combined with everyday comfort and luxury and the prestige of the Porsche brand, then it really doesn't get much better than a 911. But then again, with a car that can cost well over 6 figures as this one does, I'm sure you would expect to have all of that. There are plenty of amazing performance cars that you can buy for far less money than this, so let's move on to the next car on the list, which is number 5, the Nissan Z. Now, much like the 911, the Nissan Z is a bit of an icon itself. The model has been around for many decades, and Nissan has brought it back for 2023 with a modern, updated design that still combines a lot of the classic elements from the old car. The major news is the use of a new twin-turbo 3-liter V6 engine that delivers 400 horsepower and can be combined with either a 9-speed automatic or a standard 6-speed manual gearbox. Even though much of the chassis is a carryover from the previous generation model, it's still a blast to drive and delivers impressive handling. Some of the interior bits are carryover parts from the old car as well, but with a fresh brand new design and modern technology to make this a more usable sports car to use every day. I think the new Z is a fantastic package and a good value for what Nissan is asking. But you're also going to get an amazing value with the number 4 sports car on the list, which is the Ford Mustang GT. The Mustang is the type of sports car that needs no introduction. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more old school with a muscle car character, then the Mustang is the one to have. The GT variant is the best one in the lineup if you're looking for maximum performance. It gives you a 5-liter V8 engine with 460 horsepower and a choice of either a 10-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual gearbox. The sound of that V8 engine is absolutely incredible, and it delivers impressive acceleration too. And even though the Mustang is quite a large and heavy car, it still delivers impressive handling too. And if you don't need all the performance that you get with the V8 engine in the GT, you could just go for the regular model with the 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine, and you also have a choice between either a hardtop or a convertible as well. The Mustang offers a little bit of something for everybody, and for the price point that Ford is asking, it really is a good buy. But if you are looking for more of a dedicated sports car that's just a little bit more focused in terms of its handling and performance, then let's move on to car number 3 on the list, which is the Toyota Supra. Much like the Z and the Mustang, if you're shopping in that $50,000 to $60,000 price range, you're not going to find a sports car that's much better than the Toyota Supra. Now, for those who are familiar with the Supra will know that this is largely a BMW platform underneath the skin. Not only the chassis, but also the full engine and transmission too. But that's no bad thing, because the 3-liter turbo inline 6-cylinder engine in the Supra is a monster engine. It produces close to 400 horsepower and gives you a 0 to 60 time of around 4 seconds, which is just as fast as the Porsche 911. And for 2023, you're even going to be able to get the Supra with a choice of either an 8-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual gearbox, which is a great option to see. But as impressive as that drivetrain is, it really is the whole driving experience and the handling that really makes the Supra a real standout. It's an incredibly capable and fun car to drive with amazingly sharp balanced handling that really is world class. And it still delivers that everyday comfort and luxury that you would expect at this price point, so it really is a good value. But then, as amazing as the Supra is, as is the Mustang and the Nissan Z, I really don't think that you even need to be spending $60,000 or even $50,000 if you want to have an amazing sports car in today's market. And just to show you what I really mean, let's get behind the wheel of my number 2 cars on this list. And the first of those cars is this one right here, the Toyota GR86 and its twin, the Subaru BRZ. Now, even though all of those high-dollar sports cars like the Toyota Supra, the Nissan Z, and the Ford Mustang GT are all amazing performance cars, I'd argue that you can have just as much fun from behind the wheel of the GR86 or the BRZ, and for a much lower price too. What's really amazing about these two cars is that they deliver a very well proven, but also an increasingly rare sports car formula. What we have here is a 2-door coupe with rear-wheel drive, a 6-speed manual gearbox, and a limited slip differential, and all for half the price that you'd pay for a Supra or a Z. But even though the GR86 and the BRZ are half the price of the other sports cars that I named, they are definitely not half the fun. Not only is this car rear-wheel drive with excellent chassis balance, but it also weighs just under 2,900 pounds, and that can definitely be felt from behind the wheel. This is an amazing handling car. It feels incredibly agile and well balanced, and it has a very sharp, pointy feel to it with virtually no body roll, so it's incredibly fun to drive. On regular twisty roads such as this, I really don't think that this car feels any different from those high-dollar sports cars, so you really are getting really good value here. But not only do you get great handling with the GR86 and the BRZ, but you also get very impressive performance too. For 2022, along with a full redesign, these cars receive an all-new 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine, which produces 228 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It feels a lot more powerful than the engine it replaces and gives this car more than adequate acceleration. Along with that strong engine, you also get a great shifting 6-speed manual gearbox, although if you really want, you could also go for an optional 6-speed automatic too. But not only is this a great sports car, but it's also a fairly comfortable and very usable daily car too. There is quite a bit of road noise, but the suspension is just comfortable enough to use every day. You have a pair of back seats to use in a pinch, and you have a decent sized trunk too. And you also get just enough technology for a daily use sports car too, like a really good 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a digital gauge cluster, and even optional active safety features too. Put it all together and it becomes really difficult to find a better sports car for around 30 to 35 grand. Of course, for a very similar price range, you could go for something like a Honda Civic Si, a Subaru WRX, or of course the Volkswagen GTI, but the issue with all of these cars is that they're not really true sports cars. They're all 4-door sedans or hatchbacks, which is great if that's what you're looking for, but if you want a dedicated sports car platform, the GR86 or the BRZ are the ones to have. And if you are specifically looking for a 2-door coupe with back seats and a trunk, then I really think this might just be the best one that you can buy on the market for this price. But if you aren't necessarily set on having those things and just want to have the most amount of fun from behind the wheel, then let's move on to the next car on the list. And that car is this, the 2022 Mazda MX-5. The MX-5, formerly known as the Miata, is the epitome of the affordable sports car. It has all the ingredients that you should have in a sports car, like a balanced, lightweight chassis with 50-50 weight balance, a 6-speed manual transmission, a high-revving engine, and rear-wheel drive. And it's these ingredients that make the MX-5 such a fun car to drive. The real magic of this car is the fact that you don't need to be driving at 200 or even 100 miles an hour in order to be having a really good time. This car is a true blast to drive at almost any speed, and because it's so small and lightweight, it has this nimbleness and level of agility to it that you really don't get with almost any other car. Part of the MX-5's magic also comes from the drivetrain. All you get is a simple, naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with a 6-speed manual gearbox and rear-wheel drive. This engine produces 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque, which doesn't sound like very much, but because this car weighs just under 2,400 pounds, it actually has pretty impressive acceleration. And you can really make the most of that engine's power thanks to this amazing shifting 6-speed manual, which is probably one of the best shifters on the market. Now you can still get the MX-5 with a 6-speed automatic transmission too, but that would really be spoiling all the fun because the manual is really what this car is all about. And next to the amazing level of enjoyment that you get, the other thing I love about the MX-5 is the simplicity behind it. It just has a simple, naturally aspirated engine, not a lot of high-tech gadgets. It doesn't even have drive modes like a sport mode, because it doesn't need it. The MX-5 is sporty all the time. Another part of that simplicity is the manual folding soft top, which you can fold down in just a few seconds. It really is amazing, but if you want, you can also go for a power folding hardtop convertible, which is called the MX-5 RF. And the other amazing thing about the MX-5 is the pricing. It's very affordable for a sports car, ranging in price from around $30,000 to $40,000 US, or around $35,000 to $45,000 Canadian. And at that price point, there's really not much else that can touch it in terms of the amount of fun that you get from behind the wheel. And not only does it offer amazing value, but it's also very fuel efficient and has an excellent reputation for reliability and low repair costs, so you're not going to feel bad about driving one every single day. Of course, there are sports cars that are faster than the MX-5 and have better performance, but performance and numbers don't always equate to the most enjoyment from behind the wheel. If you're ultimately looking for the most fun and the best sports car that you can find for an affordable price point, it's really difficult to beat the MX-5. So let me know what you thought of the cars on this list. Would you consider buying any one of them, or would you get something else instead? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at some of my other car videos by checking out these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to check out carhelpcanada.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.